It's Friday. We're closing out on our first full week of 6 MOA. Do you hate it yet, Duran?
No, it's been exciting. It's a lot of updates, a lot of moving parts. It's interesting actually. It kind of puts me on the spot, which
I know.
in a weird way.
But I told people why I was doing this is I already get to do this with you every morning. I was like, why are you not sharing this? I feel like people will give me credit for a lot of things I'm doing. And I always say, well, I learned it from Duran. So I want people to see, I actually don't have it all figured out.
Yeah, it's a good interaction. It's a good mixture of your brain, which is more PR, comms, and brand, than my nerdy brain that just thinks about making money and scaling things.
I love it. I love it. I'll sit on something and you're like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do two things today. And one is, and I've wanted to do this for a while, so I thought I'll just use the show because otherwise we'll never get this on our calendar. It's like how you're using Claude Skills versus how I'm using Claude Skills. Because whenever we are doing calls and we're sharing screens, I'm like, oh, I didn't think to do that, or how you're utilizing them. And I think most people are underutilizing Claude Skills, quite frankly. I was looking at workflows today and I was doing a quick calculation. Skills that I have running, part of scheduled tasks, which I know is a whole nother layer, is probably saving me 10 hours a day on things I used to do manually. So I utilize that, build skills a lot for things, and then put them part of scheduled tasks and run things. What do you think people are missing about Claude Skills right now? And I want to know, like, Duran's top Claude Skills.
Yeah. So it's challenging, right? You're either in this world or you're not. You can't just, I don't know, 6 months ago, you could just like dip your toes in there. I don't know if you remember back in February, a few days after OpenClaw came out, I called you and I said, Sarah, you need this technology. And we literally got it on your computer. You're like, I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to do all these things. And now look at how fast you can deploy, right? How fast you can like you have a GitHub account. Like you're a full-on developer now without knowing a lick of code. So what I'm doing is a little different. You're in execution, so you're looking at series of steps of what needs to happen. You need to create decision-making points, maybe 9 consecutive decision-making points, right? For a brand or for a client or for ourselves. I am using it more getting ahead 0.1 millimeters. That's my only objective right now. I don't need to double what I have in 6 months. I need incremental improvements in my business processes. So that's how I'm using it. You're using Claude, mostly the desktop version. I'm using more. Claude desktop is a lot better. The web-based version. I don't think anybody should be using the web-based version anymore. Like just download Claude on your desktop. But what I do is I use actually Warp. I use Terminal. And the reason I do that is because I like it, but Cloud Desktop is very close now to Terminal. And as a matter of fact, you can preview. You can do previews with Cloud Desktop now.
Wait, before we confuse people, the Terminal, this is something new I started using. I actually, on my other screen over here, my giant screen, I've got anti-gravity open, I've got Warp open, I've got, I use other flows, but Terminal, help people understand who are not technical.
Yeah, so Terminal is, back in the day, back in the 90s, when Windows first came out, you had DOS, right?
My first program. I wrote a DOS program in 6th grade. Do you know this?
I think, no, I didn't, but I believe you because all us nerds were all over that stuff, the CD ... to go back to the previous screen and all of that. So Terminal is similar, but you see, the high-level feedback I would give to people is don't be afraid of this technology because it's not really that scary. You don't have to write any code. You just have to know a couple of prompts. Like if you can use Instagram, like I'm looking at all these 20-year-olds and they know all the features of Instagram, like Reels and all of that, and I can't catch up, right? Like if you can use this, you can use Terminal, you can use this technology. And what it enables you to do, and Does it make sense for me to just share what I did this morning?
Please.
Okay. So what I did this morning is I was thinking about an experience, right? I was like, okay, well, I need an experience. I need to put what Optimum 7, which is one of our agencies, what Optimum 7 does, I need to put that into an e-commerce experience, because we do development, custom development for e-commerce businesses. How can I put what I do into an e-commerce format? That was the challenge. I'm trying to test a new execution, right? So then what I did also, this is, I'm going to show you my warp screen as well. This is the warp screen. I have different
favorite.
Yeah, I have different projects here running. Like I have the quantum book that is running. I have agency. This is the design features. I'm just going to run through and you interrupt me and ask questions, Sarah.
I'm going to interrupt right now. Just really quick. What is Warp?
And Warp is basically a software that allows you to install whatever it is you're doing with Claude and any skill on your desktop. And it basically allows you to move a lot faster than a web-based version. So with ChatGPT, you can just chat, right? With Cloud Web, you can just chat. They have a code version. With Desktop Cloud now, you can do a bunch of other things. Let me just pull that up as well. Like, for example, with desktop, you can go to code, you can do previews, like you can preview whatever it is you're doing if you're building a system. Like it's a much more robust system, but we had Warp before we had Cloud Desktop. And then here you can basically set that up. There are maybe 10 commands you need to know. Like one of them, for example, is like cloud resume, skip permissions. One, like if I open the new window here, for example, I basically start with cloud dangerously skip permissions, which means that it doesn't have to keep asking me for permissions. But long story short, I don't want to make this technical. Like it's building something here for me, for example. It's already like working. And every single one of these is a different task for a different place. Like they're all working simultaneously. I just set it up and it works and it gives me the output.
But you did Claude Skills, you're in Warp, and then you've got this output that happens in your workflow.
Correct. So this one, for example, is doing redesigns of Optimum 7. This one just gave me literally, I said, hey, I need a mega menu for Zen Media, and I had to give a preview to my design team, right? Let me show you that one. And it literally just gave me, look, mega menu. This is how it's going to look like. And instead of telling them what to do, like do the mega menu, do this, do that, I just tell AI, it creates a preview. I send it to my design guys, they install it. Like you're bypassing so many back and forths. And this is just like, let me show you the code, like one line of, can you use the taste skill to go to zenmedia.com and give me a preview of the menu, but as a mega menu where all the services and every single thing under that main category is shown as sub-items, blah, blah, blah. And then I just gave it what I need. So this is not only beneficial for you, it's beneficial for your employees, where you're like, you don't have to do 5 back and forth to design a menu. Like it doesn't take that long, just speed it up. At a very, very high level, it allows you to move fast. Okay, but let's go back because this is pretty cool what I built. I built this, I don't know, in 15 minutes. Okay, so what I thought of is, wouldn't it be cool if you enter the URL in e-commerce business, like apexindustrialsupply.com and scan it, and it will take all the technologies. It will take every single code, the functionality. Does it have sticky menu, sticky calls to action, AI search and filter? Does it have trust building elements? Does it have soft add to cart? And then wouldn't it be cool if I put that into an e-commerce website format? So I did it, and it also, we have API, so it pulls up what the technology is and what their revenue is. But let's say this revenue is off. Here, AI search, you can click on it, a video opens up, plays, and it tells you what an AI search is, what you should expect. And it automatically puts it in your wish list. It says, you don't have it, you need it. And then here, you go here, and here, let's just say my revenue is not $70 million. My revenue is $12 million. And it will adjust all the numbers accordingly. You say my conversion rate is 2.1%. My average order volume is $500. My lifetime value is actually very, very high. It's $2,500. So it's going to tell you literally by not having these functionalities, what you're leaving on the table. And then you can toggle on the cost, like this is what it would cost for you to implement that functionality. So you're actually missing like a 10x return.
But all this started with Claude Skill and Warp. You had an idea. You're like, I need to do something with this. So if somebody's watching this and they're like, oh my God, John, this is mind blowing. I can't get to this stage, but I need to just set up a Claude Skill without getting technical. Yeah. Why would you even use that?
Yeah. The Claude Skill enables you to do a series of tasks back to back, and it allows you to research a lot better. And it's so insane. Like every day we're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm able to do this. And tomorrow you say the same thing. The following day you say the same thing. Like every single day you're like, I can't believe we're at a point where I can redesign anybody's website like that.
I know. I want to share one thing. We'll get back to this because you guys, I'm the basic level. Like Duran is expert to your right. I'm down here. So I'm going to show you something very basic. I'm curious about all the AI agents that exist in the world. Like there's times, Duran will send each other different MD files of like, this is a great one, install it, let's use it. But I want to monitor a lot of the stuff. So I'll oftentimes say, okay, there's a gap in knowledge. I need to research this. I want all this information, and I'll set up a skill for that. And then from that, I'll say, well, I don't want to hoard this information. I want to share it with other people. I want to do something with this information. And you think, God, before all of this, it would take forever to research, get my report, to update. And then I'll say, as if I don't have enough time, let's build a site where I can, update this information. You're like, I don't have time to monitor a whole site. So I have a skill and a research task that looks for all these new agents for the industry. And then I have a skill that's part of a scheduled task that says, okay, now update this website for me. So I actually don't even have to touch this. It just like runs once a week. I approve it. It updates on a site. So that's the way I'm using skills to build something that is essentially a knowledge share for an industry. Now, that's crazy, but it all starts with just a skill. Duran, I think you have something else here. I'm gonna.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Like what I was just doing, what was just working literally here, it just finished, right? So what it did, it literally created an HTML file. This is why I love Warp or Cloud Desktop. It basically said, look, you have optimum7.com, right? Optimum7.com. Let's open optimum7.com. Here. This is what optimum7.com looks like right now. It said, but you can be more creative. This is a boring website. So what it did is it literally said 5 variants of one design system applied to industrial. Look, it created 5 different versions for me of Optimum 7 within 9 minutes. And it's giving the palette, it's giving the design elements, it's copying every single thing. If you look at this, it's the same design elements, but represented a little differently. Industrial commerce on a stack you can actually run. Optimum 7 rebuilds the catalog, checkout. It even adjusted the copy. Look, so this is what we give back. It redesigned it. Now, it's not only one. With this specific skill, you can say, hey, give me 30 versions of this and pick the best one. So it tested 5 versions, and it said, this is the best one that I recommend. It's giving me previews here. Like you can have previews. Like it gave me that industrial e-commerce. I kind of like that yellow. Look at that. For 1,000 SKU operators, live Q2 fleet. And this is what's going on. Get my 90-day plan. 3 things we do. Migration without a lost quarter, custom development and CRO, programmatic SEO. Like it pulled everything. Look at how beautiful this design is.
That's insane, actually.
So you don't need what this does for all the business owners, entrepreneurs, founders out there is you can do your own proof of concept now. You don't have to rely on your designers or your strategists. You can just move so fast and just tell people what to do. And if you're doing under $10 million, everybody knows that to get to $10 million, you just have to force and tell people what to do. I don't care what anybody says. It's the only way you're getting to $10 million.
I'm literally over here taking notes, just by the way. This is my learning session too. I mean, on the other side of things for skills, this is the way you use it. We're also building new service lines and launching new things. I actually have in Warp, when I build service lines, I let it ask me anything to improve how I execute, to build and launch something. Now, we obviously have tons of knowledge. You can't just get in and build a skill without knowledge. You can't just be like, make me the best writer in the world. A lot of these skills are built with our 15, 20 years of knowledge, with different workflows, iterations of things we've already done that didn't work, folders that we have on our desktop. Like, you can't just use a skill and become the best overnight, right? You're sharing your knowledge, and you actually have to invest a lot of time.
Yeah. It's look, I think you and I, we've spent, I don't know, in the past year, maybe a few hours on this every single day. So how much time is that?
I don't do math. That's why I'm in comms.
You got it. So it's like we've given over 1,000 hours in in past year, and I do this on the weekends too.
Same.
And I know you do as well. So 1,000 to 2,000 hours. Like, you don't have to be an expert at this. Just whatever it is that you do that you're really, really great at, use it for that purpose. You don't have to know how to design. But these things exist. And if you don't know how to do this, and if you don't know how to get into it, you have to pay somebody to do it. Like, there's no getting around it.
I gave the best analogy last night. I was talking to my husband, and I said, it's like when we need to hang a new TV, right? Yes, we could do it. But guess what? That TV is going to be like this on our wall, because that is not what we do. I will pay someone who has done it 200, 300, 400 times. It is a specialized skill. It's something someone does. It comes out perfect. And yes, I paid it, but also I value my time. I always put $1 next to my time. I'm not going to spend my time doing that. So I would actually, this is fun to talk about and learn and see our scenes, but I will hire someone before I ever.
That's a great example. You know what I say?
What?
It's good enough is not sufficient anymore.
No way.
So right now, a lot of business owners are like, oh, my website is good enough. My flow is good enough. My CRM is good enough. My technology is good enough. Well, look, good enough is not, you used to get by with good enough. Like Jim Rohn says, all discipline affects all discipline, right? Like, you can't try to do a multi-million-dollar business and just have a shitty website or a shitty CRM, or it's just, this is the time to move fast. This is the first time in history where we have this level of technology, where as founders, one man can literally move shit forward. This is why you need this technology somehow. And if you don't know what to do, hire an AI engineer. That's what we did. We have multiple AI engineers. Like, security is still a problem. I might build this, right? I'm not going to deploy this. I'm going to give it to my senior engineer, and he's going to push it live. So this doesn't mean you can build Shopify websites by yourself, by the way, that just do millions of dollars. Yeah, you could do one that sells $5,000, but you still need experts. You still need good people.
I'm so glad you just said that. I actually want to talk about this really quick. Security, compliance. I had someone who hired me to do a training for their company, and they loved that website that just showed my agent stack. She was like, oh, I love this. Kid's part of the training. Can we, look at all these AI agents? I said, actually, this site is for fun. And no, if you do that, you're going to put your company at risk. What you need to do is build your own knowledge share, keep it close to your chest, and, build and execute it. I actually didn't even have the words for this, Duran. As we were doing this for our own company, I was building things. Remember, I flagged you and I said, I don't feel like this is the best way to share this information, but I didn't have the information on as to why. And you immediately flagged it. You're like talking to a robot on the side. You're like, da 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 da. We have to block this down and whatever. What is the issue?
Yeah, it's intellectual property. You see, you're building all these skills, which is literally like you're just getting a duplicate of your brain, which is your intellectual property, right? And you don't want to just make that public to everybody, because your output is really, really good. You want to control that, and what we were talking about is, number one, limit. Like, if you build a flow internally, don't just hand it off to people. You got to hide certain parts of it. There might be some security challenges there, and also, if you're, for anybody, if you have the capability to bill, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 to people, you don't want to just open that up, because even if I gave you the skill, you're still gonna mess it up because you don't know how to use it. Exactly. It's not about the skill and the output. You can have the output of let's say Gen AI notice or a press release or an article. But if you don't go through the 20 other steps exactly the right way, you're gonna mess it up. It's like cooking, right? It's like if you're trying to cook a really good dish, you can't put butter at the end on the pan. Like you got to do it in the beginning. So if you don't know the exact order of things, it's not gonna come out good.
And you and I will share our screens. Like we'll call each other sometimes, like show me how you use this skill. And secondarily, adding a whole nother layer, I actually have attachment documents I keep on my desktop that I add to some of those skills to hit at where, here's an example. I'll say, create a document at the end of this skill. Well, every time it creates this document, the template's a little different. It doesn't look the same every time. So I have attachments I will add to the skill and say, this is exactly how this needs to look, see attachment. Like I've got things that I add to skills and bake on. It's like the accoutrements of, skills.
Yeah. And then for everybody else, it's just, here are the steps. Sign up for Cloud, download the desktop version, learn how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, you can always go. There are a ton of videos. If you don't want to deal with videos, hire somebody on Upwork, pay them $20 an hour, not less, and then have them teach you on a share screen. And literally within 1 week, you'll be a rock star at this. It doesn't take that long. It takes 1 week.
I will call our developer when they have time. They're not building stuff for us. I'll say, and I'm very succinct. I have 5 questions. Tell me exactly what to do. I'll share my screen, and that unlocks everything.
Yeah. But again, I don't even. I know you think the same way. I don't even know how other people run businesses without this technology.
I'm shocked, and I'm like, good for me, good for us, because we're just plowing ahead. And I actually am scared for people who are not hungry to learn. And I tell my own children how to prepare for what's coming, because it will impact. That's a whole nother conversation, but impact that.
Yeah. You have to care. You have to give a shit. And those people in the marketplace, again, this is at a very high level. Like if you don't care, it's not gonna work, because it just moves at such a high pace where you have no value anymore. The value that you have is your ability to keep up and to move fast. And this doesn't, everybody looks at this as stress, but it shouldn't be stress. Like it's pure creation. You just got to find your mojo.
I love that. And what I tell our team and other people I talk to about, not living this fear-based AI is going to take my job, I always say, think about how it can increase or improve the output that you share. And that is the value of this. Maybe you spent 2 hours doing a research task, which at a very minimal level, our writers were doing because they really care about the output of their content. We created a skill because we interviewed every writer, recorded those interviews, talked about the process, used my knowledge base. We created a research skill that we now share among our editorial team that eliminated that 2 hours. The output is actually better than what they were doing. They are thrilled. In that time that they took to research, they're now able to produce more articles, better articles. And to me, that's a real bottom line investment in our company, especially when you look at the hourly rate of some people.
Yeah, I mean, you basically taught AI how to proofread documents that were AI slop. That's what you did.
We nailed it yesterday. I mean, has anyone else unlocked that? I don't know.
Yeah. So again, but that alone has like API into an AI checker tool, optimize certain things, go back, verify, remove all the AI markers. Just think about everything that's in that skill that's running every single time you initiate it. That is the key. That is your intellectual property. And 99.9% of people don't even know that. The next phase of growth for people, growth in terms of experience, growth in terms of money, growth in terms of wealth, is going to be, how can I download this and the workflow, how I think, into AI, because it's going to move a lot faster. We've always talked about duplicating or cloning ourselves. Now actually it's becoming a reality.
And I'm not scared, by the way. This is not a thing where I'm like, if I clone myself, I have no value and I have no nothing. No, if I clone myself, I get to work at 3x, 4x, 5x.
people don't realize that, you know, the brain is still the most complex machine in the universe. Like nothing is going to replace your brain, but if you don't do anything with it, I mean, you know, use it or lose it. So this is why you have to use it. This is why you have to spend the thousands and thousands of hours.
One thing I want to end on today, after all of this, and I know it gets really heady and really exciting, I ended my day yesterday after doing mom duty and cooking, you know, all the things, playing physical solitaire with a deck of cards, just to have something like that was analog and slow, and make sure, because I get so worried that I use so much AI that I want to come back to fundamentals. So I'm forcing myself to do some of these analog in real life things. Do you do anything like that?
I meditate, and there are times I just sit and do nothing.
Okay.
I have to be stupid. Like I have to get bored. So I do things like I go to the gym. I do things that where I'm not using my brain for a couple of hours.
Yes. I guess solitaire with the brain, but I still need to slow down. And I also do thinking walks where I'm just in my brain and I have to. That is so important. And I believe in taking, you know, standing up and moving. Anyway, Friday. Hope everyone learned something today. Share. Please don't be afraid to ask questions in the coming episodes. We'll be back on Monday. Duran, thank you.
All right. We'll speak to you Monday. Bye-bye.